me. I'm gonna make it to the top, leave a legacy. If I got something to say, you better let me speak. Turn it up a new degree, bitch, you ain't seen anything. I pop off with the new rock, electronic, blow the sonic roof up. I'm too honest when I take a few shots. They're too toxic, need to take the noose off. And you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough
I'm back, you know that I never left. I got tracks and some music that you'd never guess. I don't slack, don't lose, learn your lesson yet. When I get to choose what I do, I'm like a weapon. I'm not sharp as many, but got heart. I'm ready to change scars to envy, to win large and plenty. I like to play fast, never change back. Calling out, I'll pay back, cause I'm great at that. Oh, you cannot save me, cause I don't need saving. It's everything I've been chasing, all here for the taking. Don't wanna test your luck with me, I think I've had enough disease. I'm sick of all the bad thoughts, people who are half-nots.
You are not as tough though.
Don't wanna test your luck with me,
fellas, let's talk about leveling up your home security game, whether you're single, married, renting, or owning. You've already got the basics down from my last video, Home Security 101. But let's take it up a notch with some tech and DIY moves you can actually use. First up, doors. If you're renting an apartment, you probably can't swap out the whole door, but you sure can beef up the locks. Check with your landlord, but in most places you can add a portable door lock or a door jammer, totally removable, and it travels with you if you move. If you got a house rental, you might have a little more freedom. Consider a smart deadbolt that uses codes or even your fingerprint. Some of these leave 0 marks if you gotta go back to the old lock later. Word of wisdom, gentlemen. Some landlords will allow you to install security doors and windows and offset your rental increases. Now let's talk windows. Windows are the weak link in a lot of spots. For apartments, you can install window alarms. They're peel and stick, wireless, and make a racket if someone tries to open them. In a house, you can get fancier with sensor kits that connect to your phone. If your landlord's cool, you could even try security film. It's clear, sticks right on the glass, and makes it way tougher to smash through. Keyless entry is where things get real modern. I love the convenience of face recognition locks and smart keypads. If you're renting, focus on models that don't need hard wiring or drilling. Battery-powered is your friend. And a quick hack, if you're stuck with keys, hide a spare in a combo lockbox, not under the mat. You know better than that, I hope. Security cameras, y'all. For apartments, grab a few wireless battery-operated cams that can sit on a shelf or stick to the wall with adhesive. Think doorways, windows, or even your balcony. House renters take advantage of the yard. A few weatherproof cams by the driveway or back door make a huge difference. Just make sure to check the lease before drilling anything. Let's not forget landscaping, outside and inside. Outside, keep bushes trimmed under windows and add motion lights. Thieves hate being in the spotlight. Inside, get creative. Put a tall plant or a chunky piece of furniture in front of windows you don't open much. It's subtle, but it slows down anyone trying to come in that way. The biggest thing, guys, is to work with what you got. Renters, you might not be able to make permanent changes, but there's a ton of tech and simple tricks that'll make your place way safer without annoying your landlord. Remember, security is not about being paranoid. It's about being prepared. Whether you're protecting your family, your gear, or just your peace of mind, these tools have your back. Stay sharp, stay safe, and don't forget to hit subscribe for the next level of home security tips.